I'm Marlene Hutchinson, and welcome to Tips for Guitar Playing Success. As many of you know, I've been sharing my guitar playing tips every Thursday for more than 10 years. It's been my way to hopefully help you stay motivated, be inspired, and continue expanding your guitar playing journey. If you're interested in more learning resources, go to my website, marlenesmusic.com. And for anyone who's listening and feeling like you're missing out on all the guitar playing fun, you can easily get started with my super simple Learn to Play Guitar in a Day course. Now, on to today's tip. This podcast is brought to you in part by Gator. Whether you just need a bag to gig with on the weekends, or a frequent flyer needing a flight-friendly TSA Series case, or a dedicated road warrior bringing your instruments on tour, Gator has a solution for you. For the stuff you love, guard it with Gator. Today's tip is how to change your guitar chords quickly. Changing guitar chords smoothly and eventually quickly is one of the biggest hurdles for guitar players at any level. Whether you're just starting out or tackling a tricky new chord shape, getting stuck or stumbling is totally normal, but it doesn't have to last forever. In this episode, I'll share some of my most effective strategies to help you move through your chord changes with more ease, confidence, and speed. From technique ideas and practice tips, you'll walk away with tools that actually work. So let me help you make these chord changes feel effortless. As always, a big shout out this week and thank you to our fellow guitarists joining us from Algeria, Finland, Jamaica, and Canada. Before we jump into this episode, can I ask you for a quick favor? Would you please tap the subscribe button? Because that's the easiest way that you can show support for this podcast and for me. And don't fret, pun intended, it's free to tap the subscribe button and it helps me to continue bringing you episodes every single week on your favorite podcast channels like Spotify, Apple, and SiriusXM, and on YouTube. Thank you for supporting me and this show by tapping the subscribe button. So, have you ever felt like your fingers are just not cooperating with you when it comes to new chords? It's kind of like they have a mind of their own, and in some ways they do. But as with anything in guitar playing movement, it's all about muscle memory. That's why learning these simple strategies to help you accurately move from chord to chord quickly is the key to having more fun with your music. Just imagine playing your songs more smoothly without those pesky, unwanted chord-changing gaps or pauses. Here's my recommendations to help you get the job done. When trying to learn how to play new chords or a newer progression of chords like those that are in a song, a player's natural instinct is to play them quickly. But the secret sauce to actually being able to achieve good-sounding, smooth, and quick chord changes is to play them slowly. Because once you've gained accuracy with solid muscle memories, you can speed things up. When I'm teaching a student new chords or a new chord progression, I encourage them to play the chord slowly and repetitively. I also encourage them to say the finger placements out loud, like, for example, the C chord, saying out loud strings 2, 4, 5 in frets 1, 2, and 3. So going back and forth from C to G would go something like this. Starting with C, you would say strings 2, 4, 5 in frets 1, 2, and 3. Then for G, you would say string 5 in the 2nd fret, strings 6 and 1 in the 3rd fret. do that every single time you move from one chord to the other. And each time you move to a chord, watching what's happening with your fingers. Noticing if there's a pattern of errors, like your first finger stumbles to get from string 2 in the first fret to string 5 in the second fret. Knowing where you get tripped up will help you to become more accurate. Next, repeat playing those same chords, C and G, but challenge yourself to play them a little faster. Always noticing where your fingers might get tripped up. And then you can probably guess what's going to come next. Play them even faster. The idea is to push yourself just beyond where you think you can play them perfectly. This will help you understand where your chord changes become less smooth so you can make the corrections. Then go back to playing them slowly to solidify the correct muscle memories. And once you've done that, then speed it up again. Repetition, aka practice, will lead to more seamless chord changing. Another recommendation I share with my students is to play chord changes just like I described, slow at first and then faster, but this time using a metronome. A metronome is a device that helps you keep a constant rhythm or beat. It's sort of like your own personal drummer. You can find a metronome on apps and online. Some tuners have them built in, and there's also the good old-fashioned kind that looks a bit like a half a clock with an arm moving back and forth. To begin, set your metronome to a slower rhythm such as 45 BPM, which stands for beats per minute, and play your chords at the tick sound. Then increase the speed of that tick sound by setting the metronome to a higher number, for example, 90 beats per minute. As you're changing chords, notice where and when you have bloopers. Slow the metronome back down to work on correcting those errors and then try speeding it up again. As far as changing your chords within your songs, the best thing that you can do is to keep your rhythm going. Pausing a strum to change chords actually sends a message to your brain that you're really not in any big hurry. So keep the rhythm going slowly, no matter what, even while you're getting organized on the next chord. It will feel a little wonky at first, but this can really do the trick. Also, when you play songs, it's helpful when you anticipate the next chord. So look ahead in your music to see what your next chord will be so you can start thinking about what you'll be doing next. Lastly, if you only remember one thing from this episode, I'd love for you to remember to play everything slowly at first, because you can always speed it up when you've nailed the accuracy. In fact, I like to say speed it up slowly. I hope this episode's tip has helped you to continue expanding your guitar playing skills and knowledge. If you'd like to learn more, please check out the many learning resources available at marlenesmusic.com. Thank you for joining today's podcast, and as I like to say, play on.